Nice.
You made it. Oh,
Nice.
I'm so glad.
I know
Hello,
you
everyone. Sorry. Hello, everyone, and welcome to NowSkills Expert Series, episode 23rd. We have Laura Quelch as a guest speaker today, and we have a former guest speaker in the audience. The classification.
Susan.
Nice. I'm very happy to see Susan in the audience today, as well as the apprentices from NowSkill. For those who are new to NowSkill, which is within our own bespoke, efficient apprenticeship, meticulously adapted to meet the unique needs for both apprentices and employers. Our programs are thoughtfully crafted by highly experienced tutors, ensuring that the content we provide is not only up to date, but also aligns with the current industry demands. To further explore our programs, please visit our website at nowskill.co.uk. Under the apprentices menu, you need to click on register now, or just simple give us a call, or you can send an email. And I would like to give a warm welcome to all NowSkill Express apprentices, as well as their employers joining us today for the webinar, as well as those who are joining us for the first time. We are delighted to have you. Believing in yourself is a crucial aspect of your life. If you want to maximize your potential, this will set up the foundation to succeed in various aspects of your life. So today, Expert Series has the privilege to interview Laura Quelch, an experienced freelance marketing strategy and mage, event manager and social media specialist. She began her career in marketing design, then working her way up to the head of marketing of the classification guru with Susan. Excellent, right? Um, Laura as well has been dealing with clients such as the previous expert series speaker that we have here today, Susan, as well as dealing with Scott Taylor, the data whisperer. I will invite you to watch his programs. They are quite funny about Muppets in data. And the Data Avengers as well. The Data Avengers is a group of data leaders from all around the world helping data professionals to discover how you can embed data to resolve your problems and also to leverage solutions for your problems. Laura, as well, is incredibly passionate about supporting the younger generation, helping them to build confidence in themselves and feel prepared for the next steps. In today's webinar, Laura will show us how to take one step at a time, can travel great lengths, and also the master of persistence and self-belief to live the life of you dream of. So the power of networking as well, and good karma propel you to the positions you aspire to whilst demonstrating your amazing talent. So I would like to give you a warm welcome, Laura, and I also thank you for taking the time to be with us today and with our apprentices. How are you today?
Gosh, very well, thank you. What an intro. Thank you so much. Well, if you are all ready, I'll be happy to share my screen.
Yeah, good,
Should be able to
excellent.
um, share screen. This one. Now, of course, as soon as I share my screen, Zoom removes all of you, so I will bring you back up so I can see you. There we are. Right. Can you
Perfect.
see my screen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. Cool. Okay, so hi everyone. I hope you're all doing well, and thank you so much for attending my session. And thanks again to Gus for the invite. So, my name is Laura Quelch. I'm marketing mage at LQD. LQD stands for Laura Quelch Designs. I've been my own boss since 2022. Before that, I started out as a marketing designer and I worked my way up the traditional career ladder. So, digital marketing exec, marketing manager, senior marketing manager, and then I had head of marketing in my sights when it finally dawned on me that I was not enjoying it. It was not the life that I wanted. I was just following the motions and basically just doing what other people were telling me was my dream job and my dream life, but I realized I didn't care about it. I didn't care about what I was doing or where I was going. Um, so it took a lot to deconstruct all of that and now live the life that I'm living. So I hope to be able to help you with that today. And I hope that you can come away from this talk today having learned one thing to help you, at least one thing to help you also care about yourself. So I've put together a slide. Should work. Here we are. Cool. So this is a slide of me, some things that I've achieved, but just in the past year or so. Why? Because that's when I truly started to care about what I was doing. And when I cared about it, I believed in it more in the sense that I believed I was worthy of the success I was achieving, and I was more proud of it. Um, and you know, I realized with this session, the topic of it, um, when Gus first asked me to speak to you all, we initially assumed I would talk to you about marketing. So I could talk to you about LinkedIn. I could talk to you about event management or email campaigns, those sorts of things, right? But the thing with those things is that they don't apply to everyone. Whereas something that does apply to all of us is self-worth. How much do you believe in yourself? And how much do you actually believe you deserve to achieve your dreams? We all have dreams, but how do we communicate with ourselves about those dreams? And it's well known we can be our own worst enemies, but we can also be our biggest supporters. So that's something I'd love for you to take away from today of how you can better support yourself in your journey. Now, looking at all of that, you may be thinking, how does she manage it all? How does she do all of that stuff? It's one of my most frequently asked questions. And my answer is a couple of things: boundaries, expectations, work, rest, balance, balance, harmony. Now, one of the many reasons that I went self-employed was to drop that restrictive 9 to 5 path and be able to incorporate into my life more things that I actually enjoy. Now, notice I said work rest, not the classic work life, because for me, working, you are living. It is part of your life. Whatever activity you consider work, you are alive when you do it. Those hours you put in, they're hours to your life. And I really wanted to enjoy those hours. I really wanted to have a balance. That was things that I enjoyed. But whatever activity I considered work, that I also ensured I had rest. And my first recommendation for this session is a book called The Power of Chower. I may have pronounced that wrong, but it's basically about harmony and the search for balance. For me, it really helped me grow my practice of balance. So whenever I feel off, I feel low, I feel off balance, I take a step back and I ask myself some questions. When was the last time I took a break? A screen break, a break from whatever I'm doing, or even just when was the last time I ate or had something to drink, or did I get enough sleep? But then importantly, questions that are more personal to you of when was the last time I did these things that bring me joy, that make me feel good? I had a really great conversation with Coach Charlotte May recently, and she taught me this really interesting terminology around energy of what do you do that drains your energy and what do you do that gives you energy. So that's another way of looking at it. What balance do you have? What does the balance look like in your life? Of are you always feeling exhausted and tired and drained? Or are you making sure to do stuff for yourself that lightens you up, basically? And a great way to find your balance is to determine what your values are. What are you passionate about? What motivates you? What drives you? What do you talk about day to day that you just love to talk about and you love to do? But that could be a lot of things. So a good way to condense that down is to create a Venn diagram. Now, these are normally used to show a connection. In this instance, you are the connection. So these values are all in your life and they are what makes you you. Now, a good way to show that a bit more is with an example. So, as an example, I'll show you my Venn diagram. So, let's start off with the most obvious one first. Get it out of the way. Social media. I'm a marketer. It's an area of social media. Um, I'm a specialist in that area with a focus on LinkedIn. So quite often you will find on my LinkedIn uh, tips on how to better make use of your profile and how to use the platform so it works well for you. Right, that one's done. So then secondly, a big value for me is personal stories. A big part of my story is how I overcame the limiting beliefs of myself and others to live as my true, authentic self. Our stories, the good and the bad, make up who we are, and it's important to honor that. It also sets a great example to others that it's safe to do so themselves. Now, here's a great quote from a really wonderful mentor of mine, Eugenia Jordan, from her book Unlimited. Let me tell you, you are not too much, you are not too loud or too quiet, you are just right, you are you. And that's something I really encourage in my personal story posts. To find the pride in your experiences and be proud of who you are. You deserve to live as your true, authentic self. And then thirdly, giving back. For a long time, I had no one. I had to struggle on my own and struggle consistently by just making a ton of mistakes. And it was difficult. Uh, a lot of these situations could have easily been so much easier if someone had just said, "Hey, try it this way instead." Um, but I got by. But then I found once I had a supportive network, it just drastically changed my life for the better, and I thrived. And I was so grateful that I knew I had to give back and help others. So it's one of my values. It's one of the things that I make sure I incorporate into my life every day. Regularly I will ask myself, what am I doing to give back? How am I helping others? Um, so this session I would class that as that. I hope I'm helping you. um, yeah, so and but when I think about it, I'm making sure I'm doing it for the right reasons. So for example, I don't hold the door open specifically to get a thank you from someone or because they'll say thank you. I do a nice thing because it's a nice thing to do. I do something kind because that small act of kindness can have a huge impact on someone's day, on their well-being, on their mindset. Plus, as my good friend Annalise James teaches about energy, about karma, we believe that the happiness will come back to us in a different way. You'll have noticed by now that I've done a couple of shout outs to people. Um, that is very intentional. I believe there is power in community. Please, please find your support network. I did not get here by myself. Yes, at the start, I struggled a lot. But once I found my community and I grew my support network, I've just been feeling amazing. I thrive every day. Now, there is a saying, it's not what you know, but who you know. And once I realized this was actually very, very true, I was initially annoyed. I won't lie to you, I was very annoyed. I found it unfair because I initially experienced situations. So I had two situations, they were very similar. I was the same person. I presented myself the same way. I spoke the same way. I knew the same things. But the difference was in one situation, I had someone in my corner. I had someone backing me up, someone who was well known, well respected, and they were putting in a good word for me. So then people who didn't know me personally already trusted me. So it helped me, it opened up loads of doors for me. And I'm incredibly grateful for that. And I understood that I needed to start doing that more, make use of that network. Now, I do want to stress what you know is so important. Everything you are doing right now to better yourself, it has so much value. What you know has value. But what I'm trying to say is, having a support network will make life so much easier for you. Um, but I do want to stress the right people. So I had a big learning that I understood I needed to grow my network, but I was doing it for the wrong reasons. So it comes back again to why are you doing it? When I first would reach out to people, I was doing it based solely on title. So CEOs, directors, VPs. And then once I got to know them, I realized our values did not align. We were not passionate about the same things. And that's ultimately how I ended up in a career, an industry, a company, a job that I did not enjoy because I was doing it for the wrong reasons. So make sure you reach out to people that align to your values. And obviously, no one is perfect. There will be things about people that you don't quite agree with. But for the most part, there will be something that you can really benefit from getting to know them. So here are our learnings so far. Find your values, determine your values. What motivates you? What are you passionate about? This will help you find your balance. And then after that, you can find your network. You can grow your community by using those values. Speaking of community, I have a couple more great quotes and people I'd like to share with you. So I won't get distracted, Susan. So I do have one more from Eugenia because I really want to highlight this one. It's so important. The human spirit has an extraordinary ability to withstand and survive. I wanted to highlight this quote as I feel we as a collective do not give ourselves enough credit for the things that we have gone through, for the things that we have survived. For me personally, when it comes to trauma, I think it's really important to reflect on how much you've gone through and to practice gratitude for the fact that you did make it out, and to reflect on how brave and courageous you are. As mental fitness coach Catherine Lee LaRue teaches, look for the gift in the situation. What has that experience taught you that you can take onto a future experience and know that you will be okay? That you'll feel more confident, you feel braver because you know what to expect and you know what to do. Now, I have an interactive piece for you. It's just one, it's really quick, I promise, it's the only one. So in the chat box or along your reactions tab or even in your real video, just really quickly, raise your hand. Have you yourself or someone else ever told you no? No, you can't do that. No, you're not good enough. No, you'll never be able to do that. No, you can't achieve that. No, you shouldn't do that. Right? Right? Yep. Yes, yeah, right? All of us. We have all heard no. Okay, we will all hear this and we will all feel face setbacks in our lives. And sometimes it's not a particular person, sometimes it's an event in our life that feels like a no. Like it's a no from the universe or the higher powers, whatever life, whatever you want to, how you believe it. But let me tell you, the universe will never say no to you. Perhaps not right now, or not in this particular way, but never no completely. Uh, never, give up no, that sort of thing. If you truly desire to do something, you can achieve it. I believe we come to this earth with a sole purpose. It's what propels you, it's the fire in your gut. And I also believe in finding the power from within. So, whatever no you heard, whatever happened to you, don't let it hold you back. And as Susan Walsh, the classification guru, says in her TEDx talk, say no to no. Cool. How are we doing for time? Oh, awesome. Cool. In that case, I'd like to start bringing this presentation to a close with some quotes from myself. So the first one is there is no growth when I am comfortable. Once I get to the point when I am feeling really comfortable, things are feeling easy, I progress onto my next step. I look for my next challenge. Because let's face it, life is going to throw you challenges anyway, so you might as well be the one choosing them. And if I find I have limiting beliefs around something, thoughts of self-doubt or fear start to creep in, that just pushes me to do it even more because I have learned there is strength in vulnerability. And if I pursue that thing that felt really scary, I couldn't possibly do that, but then I do it, it teaches me it wasn't as scary as I thought. And I now know I can do it. There's a great quote by Seneca. Now, I'm not a huge follower of the Stoics, but I quite love this one. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Quite often, your fears can be completely blown out of proportion. They start with well intention, but if you let them run riot, they will just keep you trapped in limbo. There is a great story I learned about two wolves by Coach Claire Thomas. Now, I'm going to simplify it hugely, but basically, you have two wolves in front of you. One is positive. It's happy, it's joyful, it's motivating. And then the other one is negative. It's grumpy, it's bitter, it's angry. The one that grows in strength is the one that you feed. So imagine these are your thoughts, right? The type of thoughts you have. The thoughts that will ring the loudest and you will keep hearing are the ones that you pay attention to the most. So get curious with yourself. What are you thinking? Why are you feeling this way? Where did these thoughts originate from? Now, I will warn you, a lot of us are reluctant to do this self-development work because it doesn't feel nice. It is not comfortable, but that is where the growth happens. And then once you start doing that, though, you start to discover yourself. You start to care about yourself. You start to develop yourself. Once you start to grow your community, your supportive community, and you start receiving the success that you deserve, and you start to feel joyful and motivated and achieving your dreams. So, yeah, thank you. I'd like to end this now, my presentation, on one of my values. Please do connect with me on LinkedIn, and connect with each other. I'll make sure to pop my profile link in the chat so you can easily find it. But yeah, start growing your community. Let's connect with one another. And I'm available now for any questions you have. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you have any questions later on, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn.